What's up, guys? It's your girl Stephanie, aka Natural Photographer. How you guys doing? How you guys been? Dang it, I did it again. Sorry, guys. Wrong channel. What's up, guys? It's your girl Stephanie, aka Natural Photographer, and welcome back to Natural Reacts. Today we are going to be reacting to Luvd by Erica. Is season 2 episode 1, My Poor Baby. So if y'all have not been following this story, Luvd by Erica used to date Mr. Cryer, Damien Cryer, who is Damien's dad from the Prince family. Her and Damien's dad have a child together, and it's just a whole spiel in it. But like, they both went in, they broke up, got with somebody else, and then she got pregnant with the other guy, and then they both broke up with those people, and the people that they were both dating got together and now are engaged. And the dude she was with was denying the baby, wanted a paternity test. Mr. Cryer was helping her, like, being a support for her and stuff like that. And now it's just some more drama that's going on, and I just wanted to get into it. So yeah, this might be it's 41 minutes long, so it might be 2 parts to this. So yeah, I'll just have to keep a look on my time on my camera. So alright, guys, let's get into it. Let me get my cat ears on and my glasses. Alright, and let's get into it.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before I start this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you have your bell turned on so that you'll be notified every time I drop another video. Also,
same goes for me.
Link in the description down below, and follow me on all my social media accounts. So guys, I know that you guys are wondering why now of season 2. Well, as I mentioned in season 1, there was going to be a season 2. I just didn't think they would be this soon. But I think that it's time to put an end to the things that's been going on that you guys have been tuned in and watching for months now. I think it's finally about to come to an end. So now that my beautiful baby is here, and he is currently upstairs right now with both of his brothers, I have cameras installed in my home, therefore I can see everything that they're doing. So as you guys can see right here, there is Dion in his high chair. The baby is laying in the middle of the bed, and Camden is right there aside of him. I'm gonna lay this right here, and we're gonna get into this video. So many things happened in season 1, guys. Like, oh my god, some of you guys.
And now, I did already watch season 1, but I didn't react to it. I don't know why. I guess I was just thirsty and was just ready to react to it and get into it. So sorry about that. If y'all want me to, well, no, I was gonna say, if you want me to react to it, I can record it, but I've already seen it, so it wouldn't be any point. But if you want to, just go to her channel, Luvd by Erica, and you can see all the stuff that has happened so far.
Were mind blown. So was I, and I was actually in this web, I would call it. When I left off of season 1, we were coming to an end of the last time that I had actually spoken with him, which would have been February, I believe, 8th. And that was when I was asking him if he wanted to be in the delivery room. And in so many words, he said no, he didn't feel comfortable because he didn't know if the baby was his. and told me that I can give that spot to my mother. Now, my mother would have gladly taken that spot, but I just assumed that he would want to be there for the birth of his first and only son, but it didn't quite happen that way. I had also informed him that if he wanted to go ahead and get the DNA test.
By advertising on YouTube, I catch the eye of my ideal customers at the right time.
Test done, that I had no problem doing that. And I guess because I didn't agree to it in that moment when he asked, when I was 2 months pregnant, he told me to keep the same energy. I'm assuming that he didn't want to have anything to do with me until the baby got here. June 2nd, I was headed to take my oldest son, who is 9 years old. I was headed to take him to school for his graduation ceremony. And I was hit from the back, and then I was also hit in the front, which led me to have a lot of neck pain, back pain, and also when I was hit from the back, I hit my stomach on the steering wheel, which resulted in another ambulance coming and rushing me to the hospital, which they observed me for 24 hours, maybe a little over 24 hours, and they sent me home. I knew that it was not a good idea to send me home. However, I took what the doctors was telling me as a good thing, and I went home. The next morning around 7 o'clock, I had the worst pain of my life. There was blood everywhere, and by the time the ambulance got there, I was on the floor and there was a head definitely sliding down. So at 11:08 a.m., I birthed out a beautiful, handsome little boy. And even though I seen a little bit of me in him, and I seen a little bit of Dia, and even a little bit of Cam, I more so seen his father. The one guy who told me to abort my baby.
Oh, wow.
The one guy who was not there for me throughout the entire pregnancy. The one guy who I despises very, very much. But taking a look at my son and seeing him, I was willing to set my pride to the side to give him one last chance to be a part of his son's life. I knew eventually that I was going to find a way to get in contact with him. I just did not know when, and I did not know how.
And now, guys, I didn't even know that part. I thought, like, I didn't know she had the baby, like, at home. I don't know, like, I don't know if she had him at home or was in the ambulance. I'm kind of confused about that part. But, yeah, I had no idea it happened like that. I thought she had the baby in the hospital. Because, Mr. Carter was gonna be in the delivery room with her, and he also offered to adopt her little boy because he didn't want him to go without a father, like he grew up not having a father. But it's some more drama going down, so we're gonna get, I guess you're gonna get into the detail of it. I'm not sure. Let's continue.
Fast forward to the situations that has happened recently on the internet, where me and my second child's father went at it with each other. We did months and months of content for you guys. We were both positive on camera and off camera. It wasn't until the end of my pregnancy, and of course when I gave birth, that I started really seeing changes in him. And
sorry guys, my neck's hurting.
Why? I could not understand it for the life of me. I really thought that he had changed. I really thought that, well, wow, maybe I could give him another chance. He said that he would be willing to go to counseling with me and everything. And I thought to myself, wow, maybe he is serious. Maybe he has changed. Maybe people of age are capable of change, because I have been hearing for so long that older men, they're set in their ways. So I'm pretty sure that as confused as I were, that you guys were just as confused. In one of my episodes towards the end, I called him Black Panther. And I also called him my superhero because I felt like he came in and he saved the day. And in that moment, I felt used, I felt played. And again, so confused. I just could not figure it out for anything to save my life. I finally figured it out. I finally figured it out, y'all. And it is going to blow your mind.
Let us know.
Let's talk about the blow up on the internet, okay?
Yes, please.
There was a channel that was live, and one of my relatives actually informed me that this content creator was live and that there was a lot of people bashing me in her live. Normally, when someone says that, I just don't go jump inside of somebody's live. Now, if I run across someone's live and I feel like entertaining whatever it is they're saying, and when I say entertaining, that means actually watching, looking at comments and stuff, and I'll do that on my own. But never has it been a situation where someone has persuaded me to go look at a live. For some reason that day I did. And in that live, I saw my second child's father in there. He was making some pretty mean comments to where I exploded. I ended up going live. I felt so disappointed in myself due to the fact that I felt like I had came so far to only just take 10 steps back. I was completely disappointed in myself. Disappointed in myself.
Don't be disappointed, Erica. Like, everybody has that moment that, where you're trying to, you know, do better, and then here comes a little, you know, snake in the grass, or whoever it is, like whoever the devil chooses to use for something to get a rise out of you. I mean, it happens. I mean, none of us are perfect. Everybody makes mistakes, and it's a process. So don't beat yourself up about that.
And I knew that all those people that said that I hadn't changed, that they were going to indeed rub it in my face.
Don't worry about them.
I told you so. She hasn't changed. Even though we both gave apologies off of camera. Also, he was live on his channel and he said even more hurtful things.
Talking about Mr. Crier.
I was so heartbroken. I was so crushed because I felt like I was building a friendship with my second child's father. I felt like we was like gaining each other's trust back. Because there had been so many conversations being had behind my back, like, it just made it hard for me to like really just trust anybody. And for the first time, I honestly felt like I could trust him, that he was changing. We met up at a Walmart in exchange for our son, and he apologized to me. He told me that I was the only woman that he was in love with. He feels ashamed of his actions. He feels embarrassed. He didn't mean any of the things that he said. He wanted me to forgive him. He said that he understood that it may take a while for me to forgive him. That he didn't know why he allowed himself to get so mad. And
because he got people in his ear.
I told him, well, I forgave you a long time ago. And I mentioned something about my son's face. The reason why I have not showed my son on camera and in a video the appropriate way is because 3 days after I brought him home, the reason why I have not shown my son's face the appropriate way on camera, I finally figured it out. I finally figured it out, y'all. And it is going to blow your mind.
Blow our mind then.
After I brought him home, his face broke out tremendously. Now, I will upload a couple photos for you guys.
Baby.
Because I do know that there were some comments that said that there was nothing wrong with my son's face. And the reason why I wanted to hide the fact that my son had arrived was due to the fact that I didn't want my child around a certain someone. And even though I still don't want my son around a certain someone, and even though he is never going to be around that certain someone, that still has nothing to do with the fact that I wanted you guys to see how handsome my baby boy was. I was able to get a couple pictures the first 2 days of him breathing this amazing air here on earth. But that third day, the severe eczema really kicked in. Things were revealed in my life and in my second child's father's life. A lot of hurtful things. But one of the things that were revealed is the fact that my son indeed was here. So me and my second child's father...
Hold on, y'all. I gotta check the time on this.
We went live June...
I just gotta keep a check on it because I don't want to cut off and then y'all miss a bunch of stuff.
Was when I allowed my child's father to see him. I had been pondering on how to give him the opportunity to be a part of his child's life. I knew that I could not go to him directly because there was a possibility that either he wasn't going to respond, or the person that he's about to get ready to marry, I knew that she was going to be in his ear or underneath him to the point where he couldn't breathe to even have a civil conversation with me.
I'm talking about my third every day. I already knew that because if y'all know the backstory, the Mucker family is her baby daddy. I can't remember his first name. And then Creole Bay, which is Mr. Cryer's ex, is the Mucker family's fiance. So yeah, she's really conniving. Like she twisted her way to get to y'all. If y'all have not heard the whole story, please go to Love by Erica's page and watch the first season of her talking about all this stuff, because she has receipts. Okay, like she has so much stuff that she lets be known, and she's nothing but real with it. So yeah, and I think my time's about to run out, so let me stop this and then I'm gonna start it again so I can get some more time. Hold on 1 second. Okay guys, I just didn't want to feel like stopping it and starting it again, or it stopping and then I have to see where it, it stopped at and all that. All right.
I woke up that morning and literally I said to myself, I think I want to pay his parents a visit to let them know that their grandchild is here. I couldn't understand why I chose that day to let them know that my son was now here. I mean, it had been almost a month.
I'm Eric. You might know me from YouTube, where I went from 0 to 1 million
all these
subscribers
ads
in a year. What's crazy is that I started a lot of businesses.
A month later, literally almost a month later, I get in the car and I drive into town. And once I make it to his parents' house, I'm sitting in the car and I am literally thinking to myself, like, how is this thing going to play out? Due to the fact that I had not even spoken to them in months. Because I know how it is, parents are always going to have their kids back. And from the looks of it, they had accepted his fiance into their lives. So I didn't know how to take them at that given moment. But again, I swallowed my pride. I got my baby boy out the car. I went and knocked on the door, and I heard my son's grandfather. He was yelling, "Who is it?" And I was afraid to say who it was because I didn't know if they were going to tell me to get off of their premises because of my season 1. When the door opened, it was my son's grandmother. You could tell that she had just gotten out of bed. She was still dressed for bed. She told me to come in while she go and put on some more presentable clothes. And when I looked to my right, I saw my son's grandpa. He was laying down on the couch. And when he saw me with his grandbaby, he sat up in the couch. I handed him his grandson. And the first thing out of his mouth was, he looked just like Ricardo.
That's his name.
Went back to the car. I told Cam and I told Dion.
Hold on, I got a message. Give me a second. I don't know what that's about.
Once we get out of the car, I locked my car doors and we went back inside of the house. At that point, my son's grandmother was dressed. She put on hand sanitizer. She grabbed my son and she smiled. And she said the same thing, that he looks just like Ricardo. She even implied that he looks just like his youngest daughter. And as she was playing with my son and holding him and examining all of his different features, her husband grabbed my son Dion and was throwing him up in the air just like old times. You can tell that they both missed him, that he was indeed the life of the party. He was running around the house, dragging things on the floor, throwing things and everything else. And they were sitting back laughing and telling him how active he was and everything like that. So my son's grandmother started asking me questions about his name, how much he weighed, when I had him. Long story short, she asked me if I wanted her to call Ricardo, who is the father of my son. I said sure. Of course, I was very nervous.
Look at him. Oh my gosh.
Pretty much going
It's too late to cover his face, boo. We done seen him. We done seen him.
Come and I would have been embarrassed yet again. I hadn't seen him since November and I just knew that it was gonna be very awkward. But again, I told her yes, go ahead and call him. So she called him one time and he did not answer. The second time that she called him, he finally answered. I guess he was at work or something. She told him that I had brought the baby by and that I wanted him to come see the baby. One of the first things that he said was, give him time to stop and get a kit. Now when she
give him time to stop to get a kit? For real? Okay. Dude. If I was his mama, I would tell him a thing or two.
translated that message to me, it sounded like she said, let him stop and get his kids. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Because, you know, he do have 2 sisters, just like he has 2 brothers. When she reiterated that he wanted to stop and get a kit to swab my baby,
whew,
I saw red. Steam was blowing out of my ear, and I can feel the heats coming from my nose. And I said, no ma'am, we are not.
Hey, you making that survey?
Yep, with Typeform.
Typeform?
Yeah, it's this really simple form builder, survey make.
Doing that. Because I couldn't understand why that was like the first thing out of his mouth.
because he's an idiot,
I know that
bruh.
him wanting a DNA test was something that he had been wanting to do for a while. And even when I said, hey, let's...
If you were that, like, adamant about having a DNA test, why didn't you come to the hospital and get the DNA test done in the hospital? That would have been like the... Alright, cool. But no, you're gonna wait till your mom calls you to say that she has a baby over their house, and you want to go and get a kit to do it yourself? No.
Let's go get it done. I guess he wanted it done on his terms. Now, I am not going to allow my son to get swabbed from a $20 over-the-counter DNA kit.
Nope.
And if he wanted to get a DNA test done, we were definitely going to do it professionally. I was not going to allow him to swab my baby the first time of ever seeing him.
Nope.
Like, you should even be thankful that I'm even allowing you to even see him. Because remember, you did not want him. Remember? And just imagine if I would have actually had an abortion. The son that he has always wanted, that no other woman was able to give him in 37 years, would not be here right now. But look, guys, he's here. As angry as I was, and I knew that he was on the way, I decided to leave. And when I left, I ended up going back because I realized that I had accidentally left his bottle and his pacifier. And I didn't know if he was going to come back and get that bottle or that pacifier to go and get a DNA test done. I called my son's grandmother. She made sure that I got his pacifier and his bottle. And I was explaining to her, like, I just want peace. I just want peace. I told her that his fiance is to never be around my son.
Facts.
And she said, hey, I respect that. You're the mother. He's so angry with me when I'm the one that was done wrong. Was
Exactly.
No. Will I take full responsibility for the things that I did wrong? Yes, I will. But there's nothing that I could have possibly done that was that bad to deserve the things that I have been going through all of these months.
Facts.
While pregnant, while
Facts.
having COVID, while in a car accident. His sister ended up calling while I was outside of his parents' house talking to his mother. And she wanted me to FaceTime her so that she could see the baby. And I said, well, hey, how about we meet up at a restaurant so that we can talk? And I kind of felt like she was the only one that could get him there to see his son. Now, I was not going to press the issue. At that point, it was all about who really wants to be a part of my son's life. Both parents said that he looks identical to Ricardo. I knew that she was going to say the same thing because, you know, she's the oldest sister. And actually, she's the only sister. I called his sister and she picked a Mexican restaurant for us to meet up at to have lunch and for her to see her newborn nephew. So I made it there. I called her to see where she parked. She was parked on one side of the restaurant and I was parked on another side of the restaurant. And I remember that place from somewhere, but I just could not figure out where. But when I walked in, I realized where. He took me on my first date at that restaurant. And it was not the one that you guys saw in our professionally shot video. It was not for YouTube. This was outside of YouTube. I remember begging him for a date. Like, when are you gonna take me on a date? And he would give excuse after excuse. So finally, I guess he just got tired of me asking, and he picked up.
My head is itching bad right here.
Picked the Mexican restaurant. Yeah. So we go inside, we order food, and we get to talking, and the sister asked me did I want her to call Ricardo.
No.
See if she could get him here by himself. Because at that point I told her, hey, I cannot control if he brings her here to this restaurant. But what I can do is walk out of here. Because I'm not sure how this situation would end if he ends up bringing her here. And it would not be very wise. So she called him and he told her, give me 45 minutes so that I can take her home and drop her off. Her, meaning
Creole Bay.
he needed 45 minutes to drop the woodpecker off.
She called her.
20 minutes passed by.
I'm dead, yo. She called her a woodpecker. I'm sorry, y'all. My shoulders and neck hurt so bad. I slept wrong. I slept so crazy last night, and it's just like, that's why I keep moving around and stuff. it hurts. I need a massage or something. Let me check on my time while I got it paused. Okay. All right. This is definitely going to be a part 2.
Bye. And he was now 5 minutes away. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, that was really fast. So his sister said, hey, let's go get the baby changed. I'll go to the bathroom with you. And after we finish changing him, I'm going to pray with you so that you'll kind of be at peace when he gets here. Because we hadn't seen each other since November. I mean, my nerves and nothing like that was bad. It's just the fact that now the realization of your son is being here has really, really, really set in. We go in the bathroom, we get the baby changed, and before I know it, he was there. We didn't even get a chance to even pray together. But I had done my own silent prayer, so whether we prayed together or not, I just knew that I was covered. I walk out of the bathroom. I look over to where Dion and Camden was sitting. They were also sitting next to his nephew, which is his sister's son. And he was sitting alone at a table right by us, dressed in all red. I believe he had on a red t-shirt and some red shorts. And everything else after that was very, very faint. It's a funny thing, like, when you really have to face someone that has done so much damage to you, that has put you through a lot of hurt and pain, and then you finally see them for the first time, it's very awkward and weird for one, but then it's like, you kind of look at them and you kind of feel sorry for them. Like, what went wrong in your childhood to the point where you feel like what you have done to me was acceptable, and what you have done to me you feel like I should accept it, and you feel like I should keep accepting it. I walked over to his table and I handed him my son, and he grabbed my son. He grabbed our son. I sat down, I started eating, I was laughing and enjoying good conversation with his nephew. I was picking up food off the floor that Dion was throwing on the floor. And I was cracking jokes with Cam. And every now and again, I would look over at him, not because I thought that he was some eye candy, because like disrespect you on the level that he has disrespected me. You no longer view them the same.
Nope.
You no longer look at them the same.
Nope.
You actually look at them in complete disgust. But I wanted to see how he was bonding with our son. His one and only son. And instantly, it really looked like he was melting almost. It looked like, honestly, the best way I can put it, it looked like things was finally gonna change for me and my son.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end off this first part right here because I'm running out of time. And so make sure that you hit the like button, comment down below what you think so far of this story, or if you have followed the story, what you think of the whole story. And after that, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you will be notified every single time I post. I missed something. Did I get everything? Thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Right? Oh, also, make sure you go to my vlogging channel, Natural Photographer, and go over there and hit that subscribe button and notification bell as well. I think that's it, guys. Alright, I will see you in a few seconds for part 2, which to me it's a few seconds, but for y'all it might be a little while. So and sorry if I keep looking over, that's where the flip out screen is, and I keep trying to make sure that is focused and I'm watching the time. So alright, guys, I love you and see you on part 2. Bye.